Maybe you're looking for a little less adventure than that. Maybe you're looking for that kind of adventure. Maybe at the heart of it, there's something inside our soul that longs to be out on the edge, out on something radical. We're starting a series this weekend called The Radical Prayer, based on this book by Dr. Derek Morris. Check on Facebook on the Experience fan page. You'll see information, an Amazon link and online link, another online link where you can pick this up or find it locally. I encourage you to get this book as we go through this journey over the next couple weeks together. Because could it be that one of the few prayers that Jesus told his disciples to pray could be the key for us to truly entering into the radical life that we want to have, that's not wandering out there somewhere by itself, but is actually engaged passionately in life? Could it be that the words that Jesus said, pray this, could be the drive that takes our life from feeling like it's just existing to where you're passionately living, where you're not just wandering out there trying to find your place, but you're actively involved in the passionate heart of God? This radical perspective starts with a radical change in perspective. I need a volunteer. Anybody? All right, come on up. All right, give us your name. Jody. Everybody say hi, Jody. Hi. All right, take a look out here. See all these fine people, this beautiful room. Just kind of let that impression sink in on you. All right, don't scream. A few of them are scary. All right, now I want you to come over here. I want you to stand up on this chair. That was me. We got insurance. We're good. Take a look out at them. That way. There you go. What do you notice now that you're up high? What do you notice that you didn't notice before?
They're smaller.
The people are smaller. Very cool. Very good. What else do you notice? Anything else? What looks different to you?
I can see like above them.
Mm-hmm.
So, pretty good view.
Got a whole new perspective up there. It looks a little different, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right, give him a big hand. That's called a perspective shift. How many of you remember before you had kids, if you have kids? If you don't have kids, you may still be in this position. But before you had kids, you were an expert on child rearing? I did youth ministry, man. I could tell a parent what was wrong with their kid, and more importantly, what was wrong with the parent that made the kid that way. I was an expert, and then I had 4 of them, and now I've realized I'm clueless. Absolutely, positively clueless. It's a change in perspective. If you have your Bibles, take them open to Luke chapter 10. We're going to get into this prayer that Jesus told us, and it starts with a radical perspective change. Luke chapter 10, the New Testament, Matthew, Mark, Luke, the third book in the New Testament. It's about 3/4 of the way through the Bible. Luke chapter 10, starting in verse 1. The Lord, that's Jesus, if you're wondering. The Lord now chose 72 other disciples and sent them ahead in pairs to all the towns and places he planned to visit. These were his instructions to them. Verse 2. The harvest is great, but the workers are few. Jesus gathers these 70 people together. He looks at them and says, he's sending them out. And he says, the harvest is great. Now, how many of you have done farming at all? Been involved in farming in some way? Isn't it true that each year you go through a little bit of stress as to what is the harvest going to be like this year? What's it going to be like? Am I going to have a good harvest or going to be a bad harvest? Because the next year completely determines on how good the harvest is this year. Am I going to have a good harvest or a bad harvest? Now, the harvest is great. The translation is hard. It's always hard to translate. The Message Bible, I like the way he puts it. He says, "What a huge harvest!" It's like this is really big. It's like the farmer waking up and going out during the summer as everything's starting to ripen and starting to grow, and he's like, "Oh my word, we're going to have a bumper crop this year. This is a huge harvest."